Hello everyone, Creepy Ninjas here. I'm finally back! Well, almost. It took me a little longer than like Mega Man Omega, but I can finally say that I'm back to Touhou and recording on YouTube. I'm sorry it took so long and that I went radio silent. Not gonna lie, quite a lot of things happened during this time. 2.5 years. Damn, how long has it been? I'll admit, I had been planning to return to Touhou since, I don't know, June last year? Some people already knew that, about the plans from the Funworks and Chill Discord server, but as you can see, they are just that, the plans are just plans, and life can be fickle. So only now I can confidently say I'm coming back, ready for more Touhou fun games and more of the stuff. So yeah, let's explain it all one by one, starting with what happened in the last 2.5 years. So the main reason for my disappearance was two things: a master's studies in computer science that lasted from October 22 until almost the end of 24, and having a full-time job as a programmer at the same time. Both these took up like most of my time during the day, as well as drained my whole energy, which was not really fun. Maybe it wouldn't have been much of a problem if the work and studies were exclusively from Monday to Friday and just have the weekends free. Unfortunately, this was not the case. Studies were on weekends and I had classes almost each of them, so yeah, the whole week was pretty much busy. Fortunately, I'm done with that and finally have the master's degree I wanted. It was quite tough time for me and I certainly would not like to do it again. Though I'm done with that, I am not done with the job. I still have it, so I still don't have as much free time than I wish I would have, but let's be honest here, having a well-paid job and in a profession is a pretty much great deal. You earn the money you can spend on hobbies and passions. Having a job gives a lot more opportunities professionally, and overall, you know, I might have less free time, but I think it's a fair trade-off. What else? I started going to the gym, at least this way I can take care of my physical strength and health. And trust me, sitting in front of computer for like 10 plus hours a day by doing work, then maybe playing some games, maybe talk, has a very negative impact on the body. The spine suffers the hardest of all. So yeah, it's the least I can do for my future self when I get much older, you know. Of the other hobbies I've taken up recently are rhythm games. And man, it's a really great hobby to undertake. You may have heard of some Japanese games like Beatmania 2DX or maybe Waka. Yeah, I've gotten quite into these kinds of games, I won't deny it. Well, why I'm not able to travel to Japan to play them? I do play occasionally at the local arcade museum in Krakow in Poland, as well as playing simulators of some games while at home. Maybe not the same experience, but it will suffice. Strongly addictive games, I can tell ya, which also devours quite a chunk of my time, not to mention the other games. But yeah, somehow I have to split my time between all this stuff. And of course, all sorts of duties and obligations, sorting out personal matters, putting stuff together after graduation were the main reasons why I didn't return to Touhou and YouTube right away, but just now, you know. Alright, now let's talk about the plans, what will I upload to the channel, and pretty much define how often we'll upload, which is pretty tough to define actually. Like, it's hard to promise that I'll go right back to a regular schedule like uploading videos twice a week. In addition, during this period of more than 2 years, new passions have come into my life, new commitments with which I have to share my free time. If I manage to upload videos maybe once a week, I think that would be a good start. About what I will upload? Well, that's also a good question. I would definitely like to play and record the last big fan games that came recently. And by recently, I mean the last 2 years and more. It took a while to come back to the Touhou, yeah. Treasure Castle Labyrinth is one such game. The moment the full version came out, I absolutely wanted to play it. Now it's a perfect opportunity to do so. Absolutus, Ultimate Vitality of Imagination, or the fresh new fun game Immortal Emmanuel are also on my radar. Some demos also came out, which I will eventually get to as well. Also, looking into my archives, I have played a lot of Telmakufu scripts in the past, and a lot of replays are simply waiting to be recorded. I think it would be a fine idea to finally post them on YouTube, record them and post them. Many of them are pretty much interesting, and it would be a really shame to abandon them just because I played them like a few years ago and not recently. So I would generally aim for a plan like this. I will record recently released Fangames, some demos, if I don't manage to have time for them, because yeah, life is can be hectic. I'll try to record and publish some Danmakufu scripts. This should allow me to maintain some reasonable schedule, maybe uploading videos once a week. What do you guys think? So yeah, I'm slowly returning to Touhou and YouTube. I think it's the highest time to do so. As much as the time allows me, I record many interesting fan games, those recent and these older ones, Danmakufu scripts, and anything related to Touhou. Once again, I'm really sorry for going radio silent for all this time. It was supposed to be different than that, not just disappear without the word. But yeah, here we are. While I'm here, I'd like to thank Yeshi for maintaining the fan games list so far and constantly adding new items. 100+ more fan games to the collection. I'm pretty much impressed. Also, huge thanks to Lone, because if it wasn't for our conversation back then probably the return would happen much later. I'm very grateful for that, man. And you can probably see that the replays are from last week, right? Well, it took me a while to reconfigure OBS and its settings, set up DaVinci Resolve, get accustomed to it, set up the other tools and stuff, not to mention this video. I don't often write entire scripts and record my voice after all. So yeah, the next planned video will be Treasure Castle Labyrinth. In this case, it's gonna be Lunatic No Bomb Clear, and then all the extra stages the game has to offer, with the extra stage, Labyrinth, and the sequel stage. So yeah, I'll see you very soon, stay tuned. Rippy Ninja, signing off.